got a problem. They go deep ball on the No. Hey, here we are at the Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. Right here live. Today's show is brought to you by FastModelSports.com. Right there in Chicago, Illinois. Ross Comerford, CEO and founder, continues to be a part of our process here in North Texas. All things sports, all things Texas. Snoop Johnson, Lady Life, Honey the Prince, driving the ship at the wheel. And yours truly, Alan Branch, right here on Basketball Thursday, giving it to you while basketball is still full blown. We got grassroots basketball. College basketball is fairly quiet now, even though it's not quiet. It's kind of the quiet before the storm, closed out some recruiting. But guess what? NBA basketball is going full blown. David Fritzdale agrees to a deal with the New York Knicks to go into the Big Apple, what they say is the most hottest crucible for any form of sports, any media-oriented, attended entity to be involved in is can they survive in the Big Apple. So David Fritzdale is going to take a whack at it with the New York Knicks and see if he can't get the old Knicks back on track again.
Congratulations, Fizz.
Yeah, congratulations. He's a good basketball coach. I mean, one thing about it is that, it's often said in sports, if you haven't been fired or if you haven't lost, then you haven't played the game. It's kind of like if you haven't been dunked on, you haven't played the game, It's part of the process. I mean, being fired does not denote that a coach can't coach or is not a good coach.
And we definitely know that Fizz didn't get fired behind that. I mean, this the NBA. The NBA is a player-driven league.
Yeah, right. No, it has to come down to that.
Look at David Black. He got fired over there with LeBron and them after losing the championship game.
What happened to Mark? That was the head coach of the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson, that's his name, right? Former player, point guard.
But look at Mike Brown. Yeah. Mike Brown got fired twice at Cleveland just because he couldn't they couldn't win a championship.
Yeah. So I mean, it's tricky. There's organizations go a different direction. Often in this business, and it shouldn't happen, but in this business, when in sports, in the sports industry, especially before professional and high level college sports industry, when a coach is fired, we automatically want to look at it as if though this is a direct reflection on that coach's inability to coach. And that's absolutely the farthest thing from the truth of the deal is that these are business operations, and when they get to a certain point, they don't feel like they're going forward. They feel like they have to disrupt the direction or the way they're going about doing it to seek out another way that may help them be able to reach what it is that you're trying to acquire as a ball club, entity, franchise, or whatever one might want to say.
A whole lot. LeBron and show got a whole lot of coaches fired in.
Yeah, because that's the business side of it. You know,
I just thought about that.
I mean, you stop and look at we right here in the studio, and I hope nobody takes offense. There's four of us in the studio.
I hate to do that the day after, a couple of days after LeBron.
Got him win.
To me, he had a big game. That was a big game.
A big game. You get a lot of coaches fired, but that's what can happen. You know, if coach, if this entity makes X number of dollars, and Snoop Johnson is consuming 0.5 times X of those dollars, and comes into management and Unnie the Prince, or I'll say Alan Branch, so nobody gets mad about this. And Alan Branch only makes 0.1 of X of what's going on here, which that's 10% and 50% for all people listening. And said, man, I just can't work with Branch no more.
Yeah,
where Branch going to go? Now, how sometimes we're a little disappointed in how that it all transpires, or how it all happens. But at the end of the day, something's going to happen. A change is going to be made, and that's the business part of what's going on. I've seen plenty of college coaches that were doing a good job, or not doing a bad job, but people that are in business want a better job.
Yeah.
Or they want it to look like the way they want it to look.
Yeah.
They write the checks to make it look the way they want it to look.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of these coaches. I know we're gonna get to the NBA and everything, but you started out talking with the coaching changes and coaching carousel. We're gonna send a big shout out down at the Phoenix to the Utah Jazz assistant coach, Igor.
He's gonna be taking over when they get done.
Well, yeah, he got the job.
Got the job.
Yeah, he'll take over when they get done. Igor Nanakic or whatever his name is. I'm looking at the Milwaukee job though.
You've been talking about that job for a long time. There's a job in Florida too. You talk about.
Yeah, Orlando. I know that David Fidel, since he's off the
available list.
Yeah, since he's off that list. How does guys like Steve Clifford, that didn't do absolutely anything down there at Charlotte, how is he back up for a job so quick?
Relationships.
Relationships. I can understand Mike Budenholzer, and David Blatt. David Blatt went to the finals.
One thing you got, I agree with you.
I like to see Monty Williams. Monty went through a lot, and he was another one of those guys who lost his job down in New Orleans when he shouldn't have. He had a young team. I mean, you got to give him some groceries, man.
But the deal is, though, Coach, and we can't get around the human factor. Mm-hmm. The human factor is people do business and interact and function with people they trust and people they like.
I got you.
That's just a simple fact. We all are in this Lonestar Sports Network deal because there's a certain amount of trust and there's a certain amount of being able to tolerate one another, we will say, to the point that we're comfortable at coming in here twice a week and dealing with whatever else we have to deal with. Yeah. That's just the nature of it. I mean, it's the nature of a team. That's the nature of a marriage, a household. All those things are just required. So people make choices and decisions. Sometimes they're not necessarily great business decisions.
Right.
And what they want to do, and they got the money and write the checks, they do what they want to do.
That's right.
And that's.
No, I agree with that.
It's like one of my boys, it may have been you, said, well, it's their job. I think it's Stubbs. Somebody says their job. He deserves the right to do what he wants to do, hire who he wants to hire.
That's right. Because if I was in that position, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. If you in a position, you're going to hire somebody that you and I run. I got a perfect example for you. You and I run the Lonestar Challenge with Texas Grassroots Basketball. We have outside help, and you and I are talking and making decisions about who to hire and who to put where and what to do. And the people that you recommend are people that you like and trust, yes or no?
Well, the first thing is I'm hoping that the first thing, when I'm hiring somebody, I want somebody that I feel like is going to help me win. Okay. Now, the first list I'm going to start off is
can they deliver?
It's people I know and trust.
Right.
That I feel like can help me win.
Right.
But me knowing them, that means I'm going to know if they work hard, if they lazy.
Right. Yeah. And
I'm not going to hire you just because you're my friend.
So, and we go down to that little tangent we went off on there to say that at the end of the day, these things happen based on trust and relationships.
Right.
Trust and relationships always. Man, I tell you what, it's a tremendous day here in Texas. I think we're going to open up a can of worms. We kind of got started off in a funny direction. We didn't follow the script.
Yeah, I was wondering what you was doing. You probably had some up on the screen.
When I put that basketball up on the screen, Coach, and
I know how you do it.
You know, you saw Cleveland playing, and next thing you know, we were just right down there in the breaking news of David Fritzell. And went down to Carousel. We took an organic, natural.
I did what I normally do.
Okay.
Instead of making it look like you're off and fixing it, I just flowed into it.
No, you the one that led us down the NBA stuff.
I'm
the one that types up the run sheet.
Okay, wait a minute, Coach.
Wait a minute. Okay, you got your minute. Now wait a 30 seconds. Don't wait a minute. Wait 30 seconds.
You started.
It's your 30. Ticking. Go ahead. Keep going.
Man, how I'm gonna get 30 if you gonna take 5 of it?
I ain't gonna start it until you start talking.
When we started the show off, your eyes was right there. All you saw was breaking news, and you started off with David Fizdale.
Okay, everybody check that on the board.
Okay.
He wrong.
Okay. You say I'm wrong?
Go ahead and check it off on the
Because
board.
one thing about it, it's going to be recorded.
It's going to be recorded.
Okay. So if I'm wrong.
Don't mess your 30 seconds up now.
If I'm wrong.
Your 30 seconds ticking. You're down to 10 seconds.
I owe you a steak dinner.
You're down to 10 seconds.
If
Coach, stay with your point. Quit trying to get a free steak dinner.
If I'm right.
Stay with your point, Coach. Stay on point.
You owe me a steak dinner.
5, 4,
I'm through.
3. Okay.
Point.
He knew he was.
I know you started it off.
Coach. The intro is on the show.
Okay.
He missed the meeting. You know, you get to read his email.
I'm sitting there looking at it. It says show intro.
Show intro. Well, anytime we go with show intro, we always break down a few different things going on. Where we should be at right now, according to script, we're going to rein back over the script is Cowboy Snoop.
Coach, I'm sitting there looking at it.
You're looking at it, Coach?
I was ready to go, and then.
What happened in Cowboy Nation Day? All right, Cowboy Snoop. What happened in Cowboy?
You know what happened? Yeah, I mean.
What's your? You don't have no take on it?
Jason Witten.
Yeah. Was Jason Witten a good cowboy or a bad cowboy?
Oh, he's a good cowboy.
Good cowboy, okay.
Yeah.
Indians didn't get him.
Huh?
Indians didn't get him. He was a cowboy that did a good job.
He's gonna be one that's gonna first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Just depend on I'm gonna take that back. It depends on who all is on that ballot. You know, because the numbers would make him a first ballot, but you know, he's a tight end. You know, he's still a tight end.
Well, it depends on who's in that class.
You know, and see, when you're looking first ballot, you're looking at stability. He checks that box. But the thing is, you also looking at them players that jumped out on your TV. And so that's the one thing he never did. He never jumped out on your TV.
Well, not a lot of tight ends do. Even your Gonzaleses and whatever.
Like Shannon Sharp, he had to wait.
Right.
And Shannon Sharp jumped out on your TV. Tony Gonzalez jumped out on your TV.
Yeah, I mean, there been plenty. What's the boy from Michigan that was a good tight end?
They wooed your numbers with numbers. Yeah. I mean, the thing about Jason Witten is you got 15 years of stability, missed one game in 15 years. That's the first thing when those guys
started 234 games in a row without missing a game.
Yeah, when those guys go in that voting room, that's the first thing they're going to say is that he missed one game with a broken jaw.
Yeah, I mean, availability is the best ability. Yep. You know, which comes back to durability and what you're talking about.
Right.
We like to always measure, since we're in the business of measuring ability, as we're always looking at ability.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the high school level, Coach, you ever see them stay hurt a whole lot.
Right.
They can get you in this business now.
Yeah. Jason Witten showed a lot of class.
A lot of class.
Today. When the time he got off that Jerry Jones Dallas Cowboy bus, him and his family. They walked in, and Jerry Jones showed a lot of class. I mean, those guys.
They look like a class organization today.
Well, they are a class organization.
Well, look at Cowboy Snoop. We don't stand up for them.
I mean, the thing is, you know, the Cowboys, those guys are going through voluntary workouts right now. So they doing a lot of agility, speed work,
OT,
weight room. That's what they doing. They're not doing a whole lot of plays and stuff yet, but they just doing a lot of. And so you can look at those guys today and their equipment. They was coming off the field.
Well, coming out of workouts, or not necessarily on the field, but out of the way.
Some kind of work. That's what I'm saying. Those guys didn't have on warm-ups or slacks or nothing like that. Those guys still had on workout stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Now, there's no doubt about that. We're gonna come back and talk more about. It was a great day in Cowboyville, but I have an interesting take when we come back on athletes and their perspectives and how they come in and how they go out. We come back, we get more Lone Star Sports Show right here. This particular segment is brought to you by Hartem Hotels. Take a look and a listen. Hear more about HartemHotels.com. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show.
Hartem Hotels. Make money where you and millions of others spend money. Harlem Hotel's investment and development group's primary disciplines include hotel acquisitions, hotel development, hotel project management, as well as asset and partnership management. At Harlem Hotels, we invest in upscale focused service and extended stay hotel properties, mainly in Texas and other major urban markets. We are hotel owners, developers, investors, and asset managers persistent in our pursuit of successful ventures and passionate about our products. We provide nationally branded investment opportunities, including Hilton, Marriott, and Hyatt hotel franchises. Harlem Hotel strategically places the right product in the right location for the right customer. Get started with us today. Visit us online at www.harlemhotels.com. Harlem Hotels, put your money where you sleep.
Hey, here we are rolling back in at the second segment of the Lone Star Sports Show right here on the Lone Star Sports Network. All things sports, all things Texas. Now we can get the show back a little bit more on script. We like to take a moment, take a pause for the cause, as they say in the radio business, say happy birthday to my little brother, Snoop Johnson. You can be a big boy right now. We might give you a drink today.
Happy birthday, Snoop.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
No, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm blessed he had a wonderful 40-some years of life. And you know, it was a funny thing. My mother blew me away today, and I won't get into a lot of details. She said, me and one of my college classmates were carrying on had a long visit today. I said, man, what in the world could they be talking about?
Called a classmate?
Yeah, her and a classmate. At 90 and 91 years old. Talking for all the time. Still on the phone with it.
Yeah, we talk about a lot. 90 and 91 years old. They got a whole lot more to talk about than we do.
We've seen a lot anyway. I try to make sure they can remember it. You see, no, we on task. He in just good shape as I mean. Mind work. We walk slow, but mind work good. But man, I happy for you, man. Enjoy your birthday, man. And can't wait till we get done here and we try to celebrate a little bit. But yeah, a lot of birthdays around here. Onyx's birthday was just that was Onyx's anniversary. That wasn't Onyx's birthday. It was his anniversry deal. Yeah.
His anniversary?
Yeah, he had his 1 year anniversary with the organization.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
I'm about to tell me something.
Hey, there might be a sneaking anniversary in him. I didn't be here trying to show out a little bit here once in a while.
He sure do get to showing out.
Boy, you can always tell the Tuesday, if he shows out on Tuesday night, Thursday night, he out of here, boy. Quick. He don't even give a 10. Whatever it was, it didn't go good on Tuesday, so he gonna make sure it don't happen on Thursday.
No.
It went well.
Yeah. I knew it went well because you got there at the car when you're supposed to be at the car.
Yeah. Coach, let me tell you this. I was sitting up at the barbershop. And the guy was talking about the Jason Witten departure and how first class and how big Jared him set it up. Boy, I tell you one thing about us, boy, we'll create a reason. I mean,
we'll create a reason. I knew this was coming.
Those guys were sitting there.
I've been doing this since 2:15 today.
Those guys were sitting there talking about, boy, the Cowboys, boy, they treat us bad. Boy, they give Jason Witten get this big send off, And he said, "Where's the send off for Dez? Dez still playing.
First of all, Dez is still playing, and second of all, Dez acting damn fool all the time.
Dez might be playing you two times a year. What they look like giving him a send off?
No, right. The thing goes back to it, and I've been thinking about this since 1:30 or 2 o'clock. My witness is Unnie, me sitting there with the remote control waiting on the press conference come.
Some people don't. I don't think some people take a look at. Think about it too good.
What they say before they open.
Yeah,
it
they
up.
just get to talking. And the barbershop is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they looking for a reason. Sometimes we can, as a race, we can be so beaten down and we get so many injustices and everything.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm about to find me a white barbershop.
Yeah. Let me know how that work out, Coach.
I mean, some of the stuff.
We'll know when you find a white barbershop. But
hey, I used to have one that used to cut my hair. In the summertime when I get it all cut off, edged up around.
There's a place down there where you go get a massage and warm towel. And all that. Yeah. Right. That down in Houston.
The old pro cuts or something.
Somebody would have big. Did it?
Yeah, the boardroom.
The boardroom.
Express cuts and all that kind of stuff like that.
They had one in Houston. I can't remember what it was.
One thing about it, they're going to make sure the hair is even, or if you cut it all the way up, it ain't going to be no hair on your head.
No, they do a good clean job. No doubt about that.
They don't like giving edge ups, though.
Yeah,
What's up with that? They don't really give edge ups.
Might be a cultural thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Black folks
they want if you leave some hair, they're going to taper the back. They'll taper the back down, but they won't edge it. They'll edge up back in the back right here, but they ain't going to edge up the front.
No, I know.
How you gonna have a haircut?
I know that front edge ups is a black man thing.
Okay.
Yeah, white folks don't get front edge ups, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stay natural across the front.
I'm gonna go in there one time during the Cowboy season. I'm gonna find me a white barbershop to see what the conversation is. I might go get my hair cut at the black. I might get my hair cut at the black barbershop, then go in
just go get the amenities over
there.
With
the hot towel
and all that.
And let them just sit there and tease it. You know?
Right. What the deal is that are you gonna go to the traditional real barbershop with the candy cane thing? You can get some real conversation in one of them.
Well, see, I think the way I got to do that, if I do it, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna go get my hair cut on Tuesday. I'm gonna go get my hair cut from the white barbershop on Tuesdays or Monday. Okay, so we can talk about after the game.
Right.
Then I'm gonna go to the black barbershop on Thursday and
Friday.
Get
real haircut.
Get the real haircut, so they can talk about what the Cowboys need to do.
You get two perspectives.
That's what they want to do anyway. They want to tell you what they need to be doing.
Oh yeah, no, it's a deal there.
The black barbershop, we want to coach the team. Well, we coach the team. We look at video like we finna draft.
Oh yeah,
like we gonna make the draft picks.
Yep,
we ain't gonna have nothing to do with it.
And that's part of sports enthusiasts. That doesn't even know any racial boundaries for that. Yeah. That's just part of people. Why do you think fantasy is so big?
Yeah,
because it's the one opportunity where people get a chance to make the choices and decisions and say, if I was doing it, this is how it would work out.
Yeah.
But
I think when it comes down to Dallas Cowboys, I don't think you can miss them, though. I think white barbershop, black barbershop, you're going to get the same conversation. I listen to some of these guys on talk radio.
Talking the same
I think the conversation going to be the same.
Yeah, it is. And guys don't have all the pieces. But
now, in some sports, it might be different, but we're talking Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, I'll reveal this, and Lady and Unnie and I were talking about this before the show started. Dallas Cowboys are probably the very reason that this is the Lonestar Sports Show and not the Lonestar Basketball Show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got
Cowboys. We could not ignore the Cowboys. I mean,
all the Rangers.
Yep. Rangers, Snoop.
Definitely the Cowboys, though.
The Cowboys got it over the hump, and here we are, and it's worked out really well for us. We enjoy it. Everybody in the room enjoys Dallas Cowboy football, along with millions of other Cowboy fans and haters. But the one thing that I drew out of all of this is that there should be as much of an understanding for an athlete that they're just as much as he envisions getting drafted, much as he envisions winning championships and having the best career he possibly have, also of envisioning walking out gracefully.
Right.
And the one thing, I'll go back to it, we're on a lot of racial stuff or cultural, opinionated stuff that we're throwing out here right now. I think as black athletes, we only see our value as playing, and we don't see the opportunity. Now, you got this young man, Jason Witten, who's had a lustrous, 15-year career?
I think we got white and black. And black. I think it's white and black that just sees that. The one thing about it, there's more black athletes that's playing in the league, so the numbers are going to seem like it's
going to be skewed. I agree with that.
It's going to seem like it's more black than white,
point.
Because I mean, you got some white football players
that struggle.
That struggle and make some decisions. I mean, I just think I just think that the thing about it, whether it's basketball or football, you have more African American players on the roster. So
period. So there's a high percentage chance for us to be disgruntled and struggle with the departure part.
That's right. And then you have a lot of
makes
players.
a lot of sense.
Then you have a lot of players. You look at. I mean, let's just say if you looked at Larry Fitzgerald over there right now, the person you think he is, do you think Larry Fitzgerald is going to make those kind of decisions? He's going to be set up just like Jason Witten. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, because you know who his father is.
Yeah, okay.
His father is a high-level referee and how he was raised.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald will go right into – because, you know, when they was bringing up Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football, Larry Fitzgerald was one of the names they talked about.
Really?
They said Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten. They talked about Greg Olsen with all the concussions over there he had with Carolina Panthers.
Well, the thing that's exciting to me is just how excited he is about going and stepping in and taking on his new career.
Well, Shannon Sharp said it best, you know.
Here the Skip Bayless and
Shannon said it best. I mean, the thing is that you've never seen anyone get too old to talk.
Well, never quite got around there. Late in life now we're having a conversation and honey was listening.
You know, you get too old to run and be fast.
You get too old to do a whole lot of things when you can't talk. But Mama and them just proved that today. Yeah. They 180-some years together. They talking up a storm.
That's what I'm saying.
So
you know, I think what Jason Witten did is probably what he's done most of his life. Listening to the press conference is
playing.
He sat down with people that he valued their opinion. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's what between him and Jerry, I know they said they could give him some time to think about it and everything. I think that time was before. I think the time that they spent right here was Jerry and them wanting to make him his retirement special. Mm-hmm. Giving them some time to set it up and how they wanted some suspense, you know, and make it special. I mean, because Jerry did it first class, man.
I was really nice. I mean, I think it's just a lot all the way in on it. I'm sure you sitting in the wings, you probably got a good dose of it.
I saw clips of it.
Oh, man, you should have seen it just sitting down there on it.
Yeah, so I saw clips of it. So
you would have thought the president got shot in the Texas Board basketball office today.
They did. This was a little bit bigger than Romo's.
Yeah,
you know, Romo, they had a little thing set up right there. They had the room set up for. They said they had quotes all over the room with Jason Witten and everything.
Yeah. No, it was extremely nice. But I guess what I would want to bring out of a situation like this, or what I would want to convey or pass on or share or whatever you want to say is that all of us in life, and especially athletes, should all see as much as we see us going in and being successful, we should also be preparing for that's one thing I love about NBA Players Association camp. They spend a lot of time trying to teach these
educating
kids.
And all that. Yeah.
Right, educating. And the fact that the ball is down. R.J. Hampton, we interviewed a lot of kids on this show. I was more impressed with R.J.'s understanding his talk and a certain level of consciousness of how he saw himself utilizing basketball and on through basketball and after basketball.
Right.
That's big.
That's
really, really big. That's why we get so disappointed sometimes with the athletes. I mean, I think LeBron is a young man that sees himself all the way through the process. He's demonstrated it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's easy to start planning and thinking that way when you feel like you got the first part figured out as far as getting to the league.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Know, I mean, some of the guys focuses.
Look, some guys get caught up too. Coach.
Yeah, some of those guys focuses on getting in now.
You know, I mean, you have some guys that are still partying and hanging out 10, 12 years into their career, just like they did when there's a rookie in 1 and 2 and 3 years.
Oh yeah.
When you would like to believe that there's some form of maturity that takes place during that time. Coming back down on this particular segment of the Lone Star Sports Show, all things sports, all things Texas. Today's show is brought to you by FastMallSports.com. FastMallSports.com is located in Chicago, Illinois. And also, when you go and take a look at FastMall.com, make sure you click on Fast Recruit. This segment is brought to you by Fast Recruit. Fast Recruit leads college coaches all over the country through the recruiting process and monitoring and evaluating process, both in April and in July in the non-scholastic season, and also now they're doing it in the scholastic season. Go look at Fast Recruit and see how they are leading us into the 21st century through the vehicle of technology. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. We're going to come back in and get some Basketball Thursday in. Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and the Prince, Under Your Money, holding us between the lines. Back. Lonestar Sports Show right here on Basketball Thursday, right here on the Lonestar Sports Network. All things sports, all things Texas is the tagline and guidance and direction of what we do right here. You got Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life and the Prince holding us in between the lines and at the wheel, keeping it where it needs to go on Basketball Thursday on the Lonestar Sports Show. Here on Basketball Thursday, we've expressed our concerns and want to shout out to all congratulations and how things done. We also want to drop the tidbit on the fact of we all need to be planning for when we don't. The ball will stop bouncing, and it's always such a nice deal to walk out and see it versus things going out in a not so pleasant way or transitioning. Life is all about transitioning from hills and valleys and moving along through our process, but NBA playoffs are probably the hottest ticket going right now, the most determining factor of all the things that are out there. We all are watching the East and the West, and we are in the semifinal rounds of the conference championships or conference bracket play, where we are. Everybody's in the semifinal round. We roughly got 4 teams in the West and 4 teams in the East. Is that about right, Coach?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it's saying.
Trying to put it all together.
Ain't no 2 or 3 different ways about that.
No, and some of them have gotten.
Hey, you use some radio etiquette. Can't get over there.
I dropped that down there a little hard.
No, where you slurping?
I wasn't slurping, man, in the radio, man.
Go back and listen. When you go back and listen to the show, this is how you go. This is what you're supposed to do.
Coach, you making noise to hear you swallowing going on.
Could you?
Yeah.
You heard me swallow.
Yeah, I heard you swallow, Coach. Everybody heard you swallow. Well, we got fancy equipment and stuff over there.
Let me tell you why. Because you was trying to hear me.
Oh, listening, right?
But I'm saying I wasn't even.
You were showing me well.
I wasn't even trying to hear you slurp.
Watch the game.
I just looked up and I just looked up.
The game. That's the game. Right
next
there.
thing you know, I just heard.
Watch the game, Coach. You might pick up on some pointers there.
I mean, when you watch these guys, see if you hear some slurping and all that kind of.
Yeah, they cut all that out because they got equipment for all that.
No, man.
Yeah, they got equipment for all that.
I don't know if they have training or something for that. I mean, we need to look that up, honey, and see if they got a.
It's called a school.
If they got a radio,
it's a linear school right there in Chicago in New York.
Yeah, school
where all the artists and stuff go to learn how to act on television and learn the whole process and journalism.
Coach, if Toronto could win this game tonight, and I know a lot of people they feel like, well, Cleveland came in and stole one, and Toronto gonna win definitely the second game. This is a hard game for the home team.
Well, I mean,
I'm talking about when you lose that first game, and now Cleveland is like playing with house money. In their eyes, they're playing with house money.
There's 2 tricky things going on right now. Actually, could say even 3 tricky things going on right now, but really 2 for sure.
Big quarter. This is a huge quarter for this series, for Toronto, that team.
Or for Cleveland.
No, Cleveland with house money right now.
Now with house money.
Now, I do agree now, if Toronto can win tonight, this series going 7.
Yeah, right. No,
if they win tonight, if they lose tonight, it might get swept.
Well, and that's the point in this quarter. That's why this quarter is so big right now.
Yeah. What's the name? Cleveland don't have the depth to sweep you right now.
Well, yeah. But
they got these suits. They wearing all the tailor-made suits.
A lot of things have to go right, and Toronto's a better team. Toronto proved how good of a team they were with the ups and downs of the game that they lost. It was never Cleveland never just handled them. It was down to the wire. And when you look back at the history of the meetings all year long, it's pretty obvious the way things have gone or transpired.
You see how comfortable LeBron look in his face right now?
LeBron.
You can watch LeBron sometime and tell when he dazed look or whatever. Yeah,
right.
I mean, he just as relaxed as he can be right now.
Yeah.
Look like he just left the barbershop.
LeBron was over there with y'all.
LeBron was going to the barbershop.
Barbershop coming to LeBron.
Yeah, barbershop coming in. You
right. But
right.
But
you think LeBron fly with the look? You see how comfortable that jump shot was? You think LeBron fly with the team, or he do his private jet when he on the road? He probably fly with the team. LeBron seems like the type of guy that wants to interact with his team.
No, he wants to interact with them. That's why they get matching suits and doing like you go to skating ring and stuff. Everybody get a T-shirt.
You know LeBron ain't paid for them suits, do you?
No, he didn't talk to somebody else and paying for him to get you some advertising.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can get you some advertising with these suits right here. Yeah. All the guys gonna be wearing them. There's a chance for you to come up.
Tell y'all, Coach, Toronto finna look up in a few minutes. They finna be down by about 12, 13 points in just a few minutes. Look at LeBron. Look at LeBron. Look at LeBron.
I don't know, Coach. That's why we play the game. We're gonna see, but it's Toronto was the Eastern Conference number one seed.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just setting the stage.
I mean, I don't even know why we talk about that. I mean, it's no such thing as a regular
because
season. No such thing as a regular season champs. Not in the NBA.
But that's the way they set the seeding when they get ready to play.
That's
One plays 8.
That's all it was, number one seed. That's what you call them, number one seed.
Yeah, number one seed.
You don't call them nothing else.
That's what we called them, Coach. We identified them as a number one seed.
Okay.
Cincinnati, Cleveland was a number 4 seed.
They don't get no trophies after that.
No, you don't get over to get the trophy given right in here.
Being number one seed.
They have an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference trophy.
Coach, I told you, LeBron calculated where he wanted to be. LeBron wanted to be Indiana to Toronto. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Well, and we'll see. I mean,
now he gonna go over there and let Boston and Philly beat each other up, and he gonna get whoever's left standing. I ain't mad at LeBron. I did it in high school. In my high school team, coaching my team. Sometimes your team, you know your team, and are we strong enough? Are we deep enough to play in the regionals? Are we strong enough to play back-to-back tough games? Some years we were. It didn't even matter. Some years we wasn't that deep. We was maybe 6, 7 deep. Mm-hmm. So my thing is.
So how do you calculate? How do you engineer that?
Well, you look at you got the bracket, and District 11, first place would be there, and fourth place.
So sometimes you better off in second place than you were in first place.
Right. Yeah.
Based on who the second place opponent would be in the playoffs.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's a little tougher early in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's a little tougher. Your first and second rounds are a little tougher. Mm-hmm. I mean, first and third round, and but when you get to the regionals, it's the difference in playing. Like one year, I sat there and we played the second game at the regionals, and Socket beat us twice in district, and we lost to Lancaster during the Coca-Cola tournament in the Coca-Cola semifinals. Mm-hmm. Okay, so those guys were right there. They played each other the first game at 6:00. Then we turned around and played we ended up playing somebody from down there by Colleen or something like that. Maynard or somebody like that. We played after their game. Sock and Lancaster went in overtime.
That was a game you didn't want to be in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, because now all I got to do is survive my game and beat one of them instead of beating both of them. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? See, whoever won that game out of Sock in Lancaster, which was Lancaster, now Lancaster had to beat Sock and Kimball to get to state on back-to-back nights.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's tough. I mean, mentally for your team, that's tough.
No, it can be. I agree with the strategy.
You got to do what you got to do to get out of here. Yeah. But I'm saying that's tough, man. I mean, if you sometimes you just got that team where it don't matter.
No, just line up and play. We're as good as anybody on any given night.
Yeah.
The other team, you have to be a little bit more calculating about your process. I agree with that. I would totally agree with that. But I still think Toronto has the better team.
You think so?
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it.
It's 82 games. They might have a better regular season team. I mean,
they're 9 games. Their records now, when you compare them, they're 9 games better than Cleveland now, record wise.
Yeah, record wise. But I'm saying if you get in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game, Cleveland has 2 guys that they can throw the ball to create a situation. Even though they don't have Kyrie no more, Kevin Love still. You're not gonna play Kevin Love just straight head up on that low block.
You're gonna kind of get a little 3/4 help,
a little help,
a little half help. Yeah. Just kind of keep him honest.
But let's go to Toronto.
Who's the third person?
Let's go. No, I just said 2. I
thought you said they had 3.
Are they gonna run? Are they just gonna run?
Can't count on JR.
Are they just gonna run a pin down? No, they ain't gonna do it for JR. They're gonna run a pin down for Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver is one of the better clutch shooters of all time. They're gonna run a pin down for Kyle Korver, which has 2 options to it. When you got to worry about him on the screen, you also got to worry about the big man slipping.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah,
with a big passer in LeBron.
Well, what you're talking about now is just good, solid basketball.
Just good, solid basketball.
But on that doesn't make any of those guys superstars. It just makes them a viable option on their team.
Well, no, I didn't call them guys superstars.
Yeah.
What's the name? Don't have. I mean, what option does Toronto have under 3 minutes in the game? DeRozan?
Mr. Late Shot Clock guy.
You saw the kind of shots he getting.
Yeah.
Sideways and J.R. Smith guarding him.
J.R. Smith had a nice little
Man, J.R. Smith, cause when guys
run slash outing.
when guys have been to the championship and the finals like that, I mean, the hardest thing in the world for a head coach and a coaching staff is to get his team through the season. Coach J.R. I mean, those guys they get bored. I mean, they want to protect themselves, they want to rest, but they still want to win enough for LeBron then was the last 2 or 3 years, LeBron then was way past being the number one seed. They ain't care nothing about being the number one seed. They want to be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a reasonable amount of truth to that, and once you have a good handle on knowing how to win, which I'm sure y'all might have got a pretty decent handle on that at some point there.
Look at Pop in San Antonio. Look how many times Pop was with Tim Duncan and those guys, where the league was mad at him for resting guys.
Yeah, Jeff Green, one of y'all's options. Jeff Green get you where you want to go.
Y'all.
Yeah, well, Coach, you talking up for Cleveland right now.
Well, I mean,
I figure
talking up for him.
Big E and those guys, they got you on the Bruns, man. You got to go in there, man. You got.
I'm not a Brun hater, Coach. I was a Jordan hater.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was getting ready to take over for Magic now. So I was a Jordan hater. I'll admit if I'm a hater, I was a Jordan hater.
Yeah, well, I mean, they giving the minutes to DeRozan. They giving the minutes to
money
Jonas.
to him, too.
Yeah, right. C.J. Miles, he getting his share of what's going on up there. That group, man. See that? You go, man. But hey, we can ready to take a break.
That's who I didn't really hear nothing about the other night. C.J. Miles.
He played 12 minutes tonight. He finished 50% from the field right now. So he playing, made him a 3, and one attempted, one made.
Oh yeah, CJ a big time shooter.
Yeah, so we right there getting where we need to be on that deal. We'll come back and look at this other the remainder part of this situation on this deal. We're going to drop down. We're going to stay on the Eastern Conference side. We're going to take a solid look at what's going on and how are the Celtics able to be as successful as they are with all the loss of personnel that they've experienced during the course of the year, up and down with injuries and some for the whole season, and then the young horses, I like them calling them the young thoroughbreds, Kentucky Derby type guys that they have there with the Philadelphia 76ers, and how bright their future is and what they're doing. So we'll be back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show. This particular segment is brought to you by Hartem Hotels. Go look and listen and see what Hartem Hotels has to say about their product and their future in the state of Texas and abroad. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show.
Hey, we back here at the Lonestar Sports Show. Basketball Thursday, and right now you got the Cleveland Cavaliers up by 11 points and counting.
Working on them, Coach.
They
working on them real good.
Coach,
right
I tell
now.
you,
we talked about the third quarter, what the third quarter would do.
Coach, a relaxed, comfortable LeBron James is a dangerous
LeBron James.
And when you got a dangerous LeBron James, you got a dangerous Cleveland Cavalier team.
No, wherever he's playing, you're dangerous because now that's when he can be at his best. You know, you brought up an interesting topic is that personalities and how people feel reflects in, you know, what you see in between the lines. And we talk about a Kobe and your Michael Jordan type guys that could care less what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
You know, they were more, you know, a lot of times people say you got to be a selfish player to be a good player, or be a selfish human being to be a good player.
Yeah.
Your best players are like that. I think LeBron is the exception to that, because what you see with LeBron is that he brings so much good faith, so much goodwill is the word I was looking for. He brings so much goodwill. You know, LeBron, a big old Santa Claus, Coach.
Yeah, you're going to have fun with LeBron. I mean, that's the one thing.
He's a big Santa Claus.
Yeah, you're going to have fun.
LeBron kind of wants everybody to be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Right. You know, and where you take
at his expense.
You know, at his expense or through his guidance or through his support. You know, I don't think LeBron is a guy that, you know, just tolerates a lot of mooching and hang on and parasites.
Nah.
He just the deal is that I got a chance. Why can't I give someone else a chance?
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about at his expense. I'm talking about on the basketball court. You know, because if you look at all the guys, you look at everybody that played with LeBron, your numbers don't go up. I mean, you say what you want to. You don't. I mean, Kevin Love still came to Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron picked him out. When LeBron picked him in that trade and said, "Give me Kevin Love," he didn't pick a Kevin Love that was down there averaging 10 and 10. He picked a guy that was averaging 27 and 12.
Well, nobody else say he wasn't smart.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to pick a bum.
So I'm just saying, Kevin Love has just become sorry. You know.
Well, I think it's just a struggle. You know, poor Tyrone Lue. He looks like he's just, you know, like a Chihuahua being in a fight with a Great Dane or something. Every time you see him.
See what I'm saying? See, when they throw the ball to Kevin Love on the block, if you sit there and say, we just going to play him straight up, that's what he's going to do to you, Coach.
No, he's a good player.
Like Shaq say, barbecue chicken. Now, if DeMar DeRozan can get to that spot, you see that? He got to his spot. He's so nervous and scared right now, you know. Some of those guys.
What's he nervous and scared of, Coach? Going down 2-0?
So I'm telling y'all, that's why I be talking about these analytics and all that stuff like that. You look up and you see a guy like DeMar DeRozan, and you look at his regular season numbers, and you might see him averaging 28, 29 points, and people might look at him as a superstar.
Well, that was one of the thoughts right there, Coach. You have your regular season stars, and then you got crunch time stars.
Yeah, but no,
it's two different animals.
But you don't hear people call. People assume because of your numbers.
Kevin Love will start dropping his shoulder like you're going through two holes.
All right, I'm just saying, Coach.
Big possession right here for him.
I mean, look at that. I mean, they struggling.
They
struggling for a shot, Coach.
Bam!
Well,
they found one.
C.J. Miles, Coach, big shot maker.
Big shot maker, yeah. It's a Dallas product.
Yeah.
All things sports, all things Texas. We
Skyline
High School. We were right in the middle. Coach Mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we could be.
You know the funny thing about it, the first person that told me about C.J. Miles and told me he was a pro was Tyrone Maxey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we couldn't get Tyrone over at Kimball,
he was at Spruce or somewhere.
No, Mayo and them.
They played it.
Mayo and them had a reading spot over at
he went over there with them?
Yeah, he was freshman coach.
I didn't know that.
Calvin Miles, C.J. Miles was on the freshman for about 2 or 3 games before they moved him up.
Yeah. It happened.
Yeah. Tyrone told me, he said, Snoop, you got to see this. Watch when we come over there. This boy's a pro.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was right. Yeah. Give him credit right there.
Big old point guard at that time. That's what he was looked at. Yeah. He wasn't a shooter. He was a big point guard.
I remember Rodney Terry was recruiting him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember very, very well. Yeah. It was like yesterday because I hadn't really seen a whole lot of him when Rodney got an early scoop on that kid and really got involved.
Kevin Love ain't gonna be able to guard Kyle Lowry, is he?
No. That's something we got to go back to the drawing board. It was worth the time out right there to try to figure that out.
Kyle Lowry already got 20 points.
We looking at the East now. Before we get ready to leave the East, how is Boston? Is it that my man from Butler, Brad? What's his name? Brad
Stevens.
Brad Stevens.
It's a combination of.
Is he that good of a coach?
He's a really good coach, but it's a combination of him, and I think Danny Ainge has to be the best general manager or president of basketball, or whatever you want to call him. You know, he's the best. Nobody's better in the league, I think, to me, between Danny Ainge and
what is he good at, Coach?
evaluating players.
Okay,
Putting a team together. Him and R.C. Buford and some of those guys. I mean,
R.C. takes a good look at it. I agree with that.
the guys that Danny Ainge get, they all are mentally tough. He understands what the Boston Celtics want to look like. You know, they want mentally tough guys because they want to play in the playoffs. They don't know. You don't never really see Boston miss on draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't miss too many times.
Well, I mean, and I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I just asked the question.
They draft a culture.
I asked a question to kind of verify what I thought you were saying, and I also asked a question so that our listeners could gain some insight on what it was that you were saying.
Brad Stevens and Quinn Snyder are definitely two of the better NBA up and coming NBA coaches. You know, to go with Eric Spoelstra and some of those guys.
My man is coaching over there at Utah, right? Used to be in Missouri.
Yeah, it's Quinn Snyder.
Right. You know,
Kevin Love got 25, by the way, third quarter. Look at it.
It's a big night.
Look, they playing just like you said. Look at it. They can go through Kevin Love, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. See, my thing is the reason LeBron don't have no help is because
LeBron uses him.
LeBron pounding on the ball the whole shot clock.
Pat on it the whole time, man. It's
But
hard.
see, they so relaxed tonight that we're gonna do something different.
Yeah.
You know. See, LeBron can put you away now, Coach.
Yeah. He coming on down here. Go up 2-0, boy.
And Toronto,
Bron Nation gonna be hard to deal with, Coach.
and Toronto sure quit too.
Yeah, they look like they're looking for the switch, looking for the quit. If there's a such thing as a quit switch, they are looking for the quit switch
They
right
was
now.
They was already finna quit. They was already finna quit after that game the other night.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
No, I could definitely see.
Nervous.
But let's keep it moving right now, so we don't get too
Go
far
ahead.
away from here. Boston and Philly. Boston up 1-0, coaching, everything going there. Or is Philly? Is this too early for Philly? Is it before? Or is it Philly's before their time?
No, I think this team is a great makeup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great makeup for the team. You just got to take your hat off to the Celtics. The Celtics went and picked their poison. If you go back and look at that game, they did a great job on my man Ben Simmons. You know, they did a great job on Ben Simmons. They went on to say, basically, we're going to play Ben Simmons and Embiid head up. Embiid went in there and gave him 30+. But Ben Simmons got caught up, you know, like he always does, driving to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And they let him get himself caught up a couple of times in the air because he was looking to pass. I think his coaching staff he has a good coaching staff. They'll be prepared tonight. But again, they have to Brad Stevens really he's the epitome of next man up because he doesn't change the way they play. Rozier is allowed to play with the same green light that Kyrie Irving was.
Could Brad Stevenson be a young Popovich?
Yeah, but he got his own style. I mean,
there's gonna be a uniqueness or just an
he got his own style. He got his own style. You know, Pop understands who's the best player when guys are out, and Pop will go in and kind of change the offense a little bit of who we going through, how we going through. Brad Stevens really don't change the game plan. He stick the player in there and he doesn't go to the next guy just like you would think Al Horford would be the first option right now. You know, it was Kyrie Irving, so now it's Rozier. You know, the lead guy.
He's trying to plug in.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to like a New England Patriot type mentality.
I think Drake might have talked Toronto into this ass whipping now.
You think so?
Yeah, because see, one thing you got to realize is that in the NBA and the NFL, winning is a culture. Okay, Tyronn Lue was an assistant coach over there with Doc Rivers when they was winning with KG and Kendrick Perkins and all those guys. Mm-hmm. He realized we need some leadership.
Tyronn Lue played in Nebraska, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in Nebraska. Mm-hmm. We need some more leadership and everything over here. Who does he go and get? They didn't bring Kendrick Perkins over there to give him no minutes.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's true.
They brought Kendrick Perkins over there to do just what he doing right now. You know, Kendrick Perkins, you know, LeBron respects him, you know, so when he talks to LeBron about certain things and, you know, about being the man, being confident and everything, I mean, that's great coaching, you know, by Tyronn Lue. it's hard to be soft with a Kendrick Perkins on the bench.
Yeah, because you feel
guys like Jeff Green and all that. You
Right.
just talked about Jeff Green, how well he, but Jeff Green ain't finna go over there. Jeff Green gonna either do it on the floor.
Jeff Green not a Tarzan by nature.
No, he either gonna do it on the floor or he know I got to go in the locker room and hear it from Kendrick Perkins.
Well, they just don't want to they don't want to let him down, or they want to have to come back and face him after they haven't given a reasonable effort.
Y'all don't think that was big with Kendrick Perkins? How Kendrick Perkins went after Drake?
I thought it changed the tone of the game because it was at halftime.
Yeah, but I'm talking about after the game. The things he said, with Drake said something to him, how he handled Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Sound Drake rough?
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it, Coach. He basically told him,
What did he tell him, Coach?
he told him, he said some things I can't say on this.
On the air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
At that,
it caught the team. It caught Drake attention, and it caught the league's attention.
all things sports, all things Texas. Another Texas player,
Is LeBron up by 15?
Yeah, he is.
Coach, I told you, he
You
don't
called
need,
that.
He ain't no need looking at this one tonight, Coach.
No, get ready.
I'm
get
telling you,
get
they-
ready to drum up.
Yeah.
The next one.
They might just because of how inconsistently Cleveland could be with their approach to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland could go home and get excited. LeBron could go try to put a show on and everything. And if LeBron is off when he's trying to put a show on,
Not too old though.
Toronto can go in there and get. No, I'm talking about Toronto can go get one in Cleveland. I knew they wasn't gonna win one here. After Cleveland got the first one, I'm sitting there saying they not winning this one at home.
It's gonna be tough.
Because LeBron playing with house money. Now when they go home, LeBron is still gonna be playing with house money, but they gonna be sitting there saying to themselves, "We got to protect home and put it away. We can't let them go back to Toronto 2-2." That's what they're gonna be saying. And and Toronto is gonna shift their mindset to saying one at a time, one game at a time.
I totally agree with the rationale and what you're saying. We obviously got to play it out and see. I think this one is over, and we go back to it. We said the third quarter was going to be huge, and these guys come in with that kind of momentum and playing the way that they're playing. They're going to be hard to get it done.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
We're right here at the Lonestar Sports Show, getting ready to break away from another segment. This particular segment is brought to you by Playbank. Go see how coaches of all levels could benefit from in educating and teaching themselves through the vehicle of Playbank and accessing the resources that Playbank brings at a very reasonable cost, pretty close to free. Hell, I get enough free sets on my own to run a whole league of players just over the online deal. So go dive in and see what the FastMallSports.com, one of their products is Playbank, FastMallSports.com. Back in 180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show as we get ready to travel out of the east and work our way on over to the west and take a look at one that I have a lot of thoughts about.
Bron ain't never leaving.
What's going on? rolling back in here, as my buddy like to say, they're at the top of the hour.
Top of the hour, Coach.
Halfway through the process at the 7 o'clock hour right here in Oak Cliff, Texas, after a very rainy, stormy day. Lots of delayed flights. People got stuck in the plex today trying to get through here. It got rough around this camp for a little while. Y'all couldn't see the wings?
Yeah, I saw it. It was dark, Coach.
Y'all can hear it. Yeah. They got so rough on the Prince. The Prince said, I'm going to sit tight for a minute. I'm coming, Coach.
Yeah.
Prince had a rough morning this morning. That whole thing called responsibility started to kick in on the Prince over there.
Look how comfortable the king looks.
Oh yeah, he all up there handling it. He get all good with it. He loose, Coach. No pressure.
Got the first one. They got the muck out their back.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan just want to finish with. He just want to finish with 29.
He trying to keep his numbers right.
That's how.
It's right here. It's getting out of hand. It's gotten out of hand. I predicted Boston, I believe. No. I took the 76ers. I predicted Boston for that win. I still feel like the young guys have enough talent to pull that out.
You pick which game?
In this game right here.
Coach, you did not pick Boston.
I picked Boston for the win, but I picked 76ers to win the whole deal.
You picked the 76ers, man. Game 1.
Yeah, you picked 76ers.
You picked the 76ers.
Game 1.
And to win the series.
Yeah.
I picked 76ers to win the series.
And you picked game 1.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
In game 1. It'd be pretty awkward. I picked Boston to beat Milwaukee. That's what it was. Yeah.
Man, that is an excellent hire, man. David Fizdale to New York. I'm saying culturally, sharp dresser, well-spoken guy. That's the thing about Fizdale. Fizz is smart. He's really smart.
Oh, he's an intelligent guy.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm talking about how smart he is. I mean, he's in that Brad Stevens.
Your boy liked him a lot.
He's in that Brad Stevens.
Sip liked him a whole lot.
Yeah.
Sip
might mess around and be going up.
Yeah. I don't know how good they were. Yeah. What's the guy that could potentially get the job in Florida? And we won't elaborate a lot. We just call his name.
He said in Florida.
Yeah, with Orlando. Who could they hire?
Well, I know Phil's name was in there real strong. I think a good fit. You got to look at the personnel.
That was another guy. Who else could have
got
got the job?
Okay, my thing is if you want to stabilize your team, Monty Williams is a great stabilizer. But all those coaches got to have some players. I think Monty Williams would be really good.
Ime Udoka interviewed for that job as well.
Yeah, out of San Antonio. Yeah, that'd be big. He go down there. That'd be good for their community. His wife Nia Long. They had Nia Long walking around. It's already starstruck down there in Orlando with Shaq and all these people. Shaq and a lot of them down there in Orlando, Tiger Woods and all them. So now you add Nia Long to the community. That'd be big.
You wonder what the people's homeowner association meetings are like.
Oh my goodness!
When they get down and bring in ice carvings and
I think they just get it.
Champagne and stuff.
I don't think they have no meeting. I think they just send them an email.
Send an email. Vote whichever way you want to go and keep on going, huh? Here's the standards.
They might send a worker to the meeting. All of them send staff.
Staff representation.
Somebody on the staff represent. Yeah.
Man, Tiger had a rough day today too.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a rough day.
They say this course was tough on him last time he was down there.
Yeah.
I think 2010, 2012, he had a rough one. Didn't even make the cut.
Yeah. Well, he was having a rough one anyway. City Crest would have got him back in 2010, 2011. He been in trouble.
Yeah.
He been in trouble down here at the country club at the house here.
Yeah.
No matter what. But it coming out of the East, let's go back over. Now, this is where my thoughts kick in. I picked the Rockets.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how – I knew this, but I thought they had gotten better. Or maybe I fell into the Fool's Gold, or maybe all things sports, all things Texas got me. Last Texas team still standing. Whatever you want to call it, the Rockets don't play no defense, Coach. Can't win.
Man, we supposed to be knowing that, though.
We knew it, but you thought they might have gotten a little better. Can't win, Coach.
What you got the game on, commercials or something?
Oh, Coach. You can have commercials that go with the game.
I got you.
That's how they make money, Coach. Like we want commercials right here.
I understand that. It just seems like they always starting over, showing those highlights early in the game. That's what I'm saying. It's not not halftime.
Yeah, no. I don't know exactly what it is.
Why? Let me ask you this: why is Stacey? Good point, Stacey. Stacey was talking about Mark Jackson.
Why is he not being called for some of these
Well,
jobs?
his name was up in the New York job, which I still like the David Fitz there. I like to see Mark Jackson get the Milwaukee job.
Yeah. But let's go back to something. This is for all of us. We're sitting and speculating what we think about fits being good fits, but we have no idea if these people like each other or trust each other.
Yeah, what kind of personnel? I mean,
Yeah,
you still got
yeah.
different personnel. I
But
like to see David Black. I like to see the former kid coach David Black or Mike Brown that's down there with Golden State right now. I like to see one of those guys go get the Orlando job.
People
You
are
know what I'm
they're gonna do business and be around people that they trust and they like. It's just gonna come around to it. And one of the biggest reasons in college basketball, or the biggest excuses in college basketball for a guy choosing not to hire a guy, I don't know him.
Yeah.
I don't know him. And I urge many young professionals and young guys in the business to do as much as they can to know and communicate and interact with as many people as you can, because that limits the excuses. And that's all you're trying to do is cut down on the reasons why not.
Do you think Jason Witten wore that suit on purpose? That was on purpose, wasn't it? That's cowboy blue, isn't it?
That's a good looking suit. Yeah, I'm sure. Look at the tie and everything.
I mean, he knew that backdrop and everything was gonna be hitting on
I
that.
don't know about that part. That's Alan Brandt's suit right there. I love that suit he has on there. I like the one that Jerry had.
You got something like that?
Yeah, I got something like that, Coach.
Okay.
Got one like that. I don't think mine. He might have had another 0 or 2 on his when he was done, but same concept at a glance.
I mean,
He'll probably lay on him a little bit
yeah,
better.
you go in there and cut it up and all that. At the end of the day, they're all super 100s.
Yeah.
They just pull that patch out and put
Another patch in there.
with their name,
Right.
their name or something.
Yeah. I got a pretty good one though. I got a good deal on it. I like that suit though a lot. But back to the point that we transition over, man. The Rockets, man. Boy, I tell you what. Did you say this? Or did Chris Walk? One of y'all said this. It's easier to play sound defense than it is to be a prolific offensive team night in and night out.
Coach, I don't know if I said it recently. I've said it before, and I believe in that. I think you as a coach, defensively, you can scheme it, you can motivate it, but it ain't no motivating for if you can't score.
Right. Well, it's hard to be a prolific scorer night in and night out.
Coach, scoring, you either got to have the skill and the ability to do it.
Well, the Rockets obviously have that, though, Coach.
Or you can't do it.
Seems like a typical Mike D'Antoni team.
Yeah, no defense.
Real powerful offensively.
Well, they're not going to be consistent defensively. They try, but their defense comes off of scoring. When people don't realize when you're a great scoring team and you're on, that puts pressure on the other team alone, because if every time they're missing shots, they're saying, every time they're taking shots, they're saying to themselves, this team is scoring. Mm-hmm. So we better put some points up or the score just going to keep going. Mm-hmm. So with their lack of making shots, that really hurt their defense.
It made them more defendable.
Made them more defendable.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to have more nights against a strong Utah defense, though?
Oh, yeah. We got to send a shout-out to the Chop Shop in Houston. We got Robert Hatter joining the line right now. He's what's up? Let me send a what's up to Hatter over here he's over here on the feed.
Yeah. I'll tell Hatter to jump in. Hatter might have tried to call. Let me check and see if. No. Haven't had any calls. Wasn't Hatter. But, no, glad to have you, Hatter, man.
He just said what's up.
Yeah.
Hatter probably over there watching the game right now. He might be at Philly Derricks.
Yeah.
I'm
feeling Derricks. We had a good time.
Next time I get a chance, Hatter, I'll be down for Philly Derricks. We'll be back.
Get a little Philly Derricks in right there. We're getting advertising in for Philly. We won't tell you where it's located.
Yeah.
Close to downtown. But it's a nice place, though. Enjoy it.
Good food.
Good food. Good atmosphere. And comfortable, especially when the weather's right for the patio. It's a good place to hang out.
I'd like to see somebody in Dallas get a Philly Derricks. I like that.
No.
What if we had some Philly Derricks in over there, right there Midtown somewhere?
Boy, I bet you Holly Robinson could do a heck of a job running it, too.
I'm telling you, for real.
Yep. Might have find us a deal like that. Restaurant stuff, man. Restaurant bar stuff is so crazy, and so whatever, man. But I tell you what, that Phil and Derrick's does not miss, Coach. I mean, anytime you go in there, they got the two sides,
great
the food is
food,
good. It's like a little jazzy.
Great entertainment.
It's a more intimate version of Buttons. Remember they kept Buttons around?
Yeah, but
Buttons was so far out.
Yeah.
That was another thing that made Buttons awkward.
It's just like you going into it's like you got your choice to go to a restaurant or just like a little cigar spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. No, it's Phil and Derrick's found the night
And the
deal.
food is good.
It's funny, they opened Phil and Derrick's just a couple blocks from where I used to live, just as soon as I left. Was I still there for a minute?
I don't know.
I can't think. Yeah, Phil and Derrick's has been there. It was open before I left. But I just never. I've gone there more times since I've been away from Houston than I did when I was.
I get more excited now about going to Phil and Derrick's instead of going over to my spot.
What's your spot, Coach?
You know the spot over there.
Oh, your spot down there. Yeah, your
Was
spot.
it 5013 or something?
Yeah, down there on Alameda. Yeah. Well, your spot that would have nothing to do with any eating.
They got food in there.
Yeah, they got food in there.
They got food in there.
McDonald's they got food. McDonald's got food too.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't know.
Burger King. No, they had a solid, just a little, bar menu where you could get a
They do
few
wings or something.
Yeah, right.
Appetizers.
Appetizers. Yeah, they
Okay.
were full blown. You go to Full and Derrick's, you can get a
Yeah, you
full
go
blown
full-
entree.
I'm sitting there telling you, greens and everything.
Quality entree. I mean, you could break it down with some jambalaya and they take the red snapper and put all the crab meat and shrimp stuff on top.
Yeah, and I
of it,
tried to go in
tomatoes.
there. The first night I went in there with Hatter after we went to the Clippers game, the Clippers and the Rockets. We went down there and
that was the other day when we went here. Huh?
Hatter hit me off to a meal and I went and got that. But then I was sitting there watching him. Hatter just got him a little old thing of some shrimp, shrimp and stuff like that. So I went in the next night thinking that that mine gonna look like Hatter.
I was with you, right?
Yeah, that mine's gonna look like Hatter.
Because you ain't Hatter though, Coach.
That's what you told me after you said, Coach, you got to realize that.
You got to realize
You
now.
ain't Hatter.
We ain't gonna put it all the way out there like it is.
Yeah, I know.
That's Mr. Hatter right
Yeah,
there. That's why Mr. This right here for Hatter right there.
I started to say that too when that lady went through that. I said, that ain't nothing but a waitress.
Yeah,
I started to go in there and say,
tell the cook, tell the chef, I want a Hatter version of what's going on.
I started to say
here.
that. I started to say, y'all put more on Hatters last night.
Oh boy, we guys right here at the Lone Star Sports Show, giving it to you like it is. All things sports, all things Texas, right here in the Lone Star Sports world of Texas and the Lone Star Sports Network. Be back in 180 seconds with more Snoop Johnson, Alan Branch, Lady Life, and Uneven Money. Put it down over there, like figuring it all out, keeping us between the lines. We'll be back in 180 seconds with more right here in the middle of basketball Thursday, basketball season, the NBA Finals. We're going to come back and talk some more about these Rockets and why they should have a chance, but they still doesn't like they're going to get it figured out.
Hardem Hotels. Make money where you and millions of others spend money. Hardem Hotels Investment and Development Group's primary disciplines include hotel acquisitions, hotel development, hotel project management, as well as asset and partnership management. At Hardem Hotels, we invest in upscale focused service and extended stay hotel properties, mainly in Texas and other major urban markets. We are hotel owners, developers, investors, and asset managers persistent in our pursuit of successful ventures and passionate about our products. We provide nationally branded investment opportunities, including Hilton, Marriott, and Hyatt hotel franchises. Hardem Hotels strategically places the right product in the right location for the right customer. Get started with us today. Visit us online at www.hardemhotels.com. Hardem Hotels, put your money where you sleep.
Hey, we back here at the Lonestar Sports Show on Basketball Thursday tonight. Big day over there in Cowboy Land. 15-year veteran Jason Witten takes it from the field to the studio.
Yeah, it'll be good. Right there on Monday Night Football is where they bring him in.
Can he make up where Gruden left off?
Gruden had a lot of personality. Gruden knew how to use his expertise and bring a real solid piece to the deal. That's what I like to think that we do here at the Lone Star Sports Show is that we bring a perspective, and that's what makes the whole studio media commentary thing is that people want to be able to feel it. What man? You said Stacey Houston said it, that the Toronto Raptors were making a run.
I mean,
they were down by 19, and now they're down by 16. What they run to?
Well, they down 11 now.
Oh,
Toronto
maybe Stacey ahead of us then.
Yeah.
Stacey might be ahead of us on
they
the
might have went
process.
down by 25 or something. We missed so much.
Yeah, could have. Yeah, we got crossed up there when our technology had us over on the replay list.
Oh yeah. Coach, man, I was looking at the Rangers. I was looking at the Rangers schedule today, just trying to go over there, and I got over to that Texas Ranger website and everything. Boy, let me tell you, they are really building up over there in that Arlington area, man. They got the Arlington Live.
Well, I've been going over to visit.
Yeah, between that stadium, between the ballpark and the football stadium.
Sports resources, Coach.
They're gonna have a big thing over there, man.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be similar to the deal in Kansas City. I was up there for the Sweet 16 when you go in there and it's just, all that stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Up on about 3 or 4 different levels and looking down.
It's going to be a big-time college scene right there, man.
It's going to be attractive. I think it could potentially
Tours, Six Flags right there and all that stuff.
I think it could potentially be a very
do you think that area will attract people like downtown right there by the American Airlines and the W, how that area has all that stuff? Does it have the same ability to attract like that?
Well, it has the one of the geographic and the demographics are going to support it.
Between Fort Worth and Dallas.
Structure what they're doing. I mean, they're trying to get Fort Worth back going.
They're going to have a hotel with Fort Worth already back going with the opening of AT&T, Cowboy Jerry's World. But just think, all of those big football events they come down here, like when Oregon and all those guys come out. Those guys stay out there in Grapevine.
They're gonna benefit from Jerry's World.
Some of those teams stay over in Fort Worth. It's not a whole lot of them that stay in downtown Dallas.
No, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. And Coach, I stopped watching, and this was nowhere on the script. Now I was continuing to watch the Astros, and I blink at y'all.
We hanging in there, Coach.
I haven't pulled.
Once we got double-digit wins, we all right. Just remember the one thing about it,
because when you look at the Astros and you look at the Rangers,
just look at the Astros. Don't look at the Rangers.
Astro AB, Astro AB, and Ranger Royce here going on. Coach, you take our wins and losses and take y'all's wins and losses. If you want to
flip it over, huh?
Flip it around.
That's right.
Yeah, is that right, Coach?
Yeah.
You're in the bottom group right there, Coach.
Coach,
we'll get y'all ladder, Coach. Step stool.
Coach, they have played
up to the top.
The Astros have played 33 out of their 162. The Rangers have played 32 out of their 162. They got a lot of games, Coach.
They both got a lot of games. That's why I stopped watching.
Astros got 129. The Rangers got 130.
I keep up with it enough to know that we keeping where we're supposed to be in the whole process. But I hadn't really pulled it up and looked at it close enough to know that
Toronto can stick a foot in before I can. You know what I want? I want Cleveland to go win the series 4-1. They're not going to sweep them. They win 4-1 because I want Cleveland to go get rested. I don't want when they get ready to go in there against Boston and Philly, one of those teams right there, I want them rested.
Who is it going to be, Coach? Not one of them teams right there. Who's it going to be? Boston or Philly? I said Philly. You said Boston, right?
Well, I picked Boston. I never picked the series yet. I just picked Boston for game one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Since they finna play again, I got Boston again. So I'm gonna take Boston for the series. Just for
Boston for the series, just for the fun of the show.
Just for the fun of the show. I'm gonna take Boston
on
for
your
the
birthday. You're feeling pretty good on your birthday.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think they're gonna put Ben Simmons in some situations he don't want to be in.
Coach, how close was your birthday to your prom night? Well, you kind of older in the older group. Your prom night was on farther down. You didn't have your birthday.
No. Our prom was before my birthday. I remember that.
They had prom in April?
We had prom in April.
So that's back when the cutting up really got started. So they had to move the prom way back up in school year so they could hold you accountable for what you did at the prom.
Yeah. Well, see, I remember reason I remember us having the prom because those guys, they hadn't played the spring football game yet.
And see, boy, that's the opposite. But I know that y'all group came along. Y'all was outlaws, and they came along in the '90s. Boy, y'all got to really doing all the stuff with late '80s. Back when I was coming along, by the time you got to the prom, you wasn't even going back up to the school no more. Mm-mm. When we got done,
when y'all prom,
yeah,
y'all was doing that time.
Oh man, we got done with that blue and
That's
white.
That's what it should be. That should, yeah.
But the reason they had to stop doing that was because Joker started cutting up so bad. They had to pull all the activities back here so they could still hold you accountable for your graduation.
Did you see that shot LeBron just took? This when LeBron is relaxed, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
This is when LeBron, look at this.
That's what he works on down there in his private gym when he's at his house by himself.
But I'm just saying.
Look, you see him shake his old head, Coach. Oh, LeBron went. Oh.
See, I'm just telling you, some of the shots.
Turn around and look.
Some of the shots LeBron make, it show you what kind of shooter he is. LeBron is really a good shooter. When LeBron get to missing and hitting the side of the rim and all that,
because he's tight.
That's when he get. Look at, he got his 43.
Yeah, he got
14 assists.
Look at that boy.
Did I not tell y'all LeBron was gonna be special tonight? He finna go make this a 50-point game.
You know that.
He won 50 tonight, Coach.
Yeah. Because he working on his stuff there.
But I still go back to LeBron James.
Look.
I still go back. Chime him in there. I still go back to LeBron James making that shot. He was 3 for 15. LeBron making that shot in the fourth quarter to take that game in overtime the other night. That was the biggest shot of the series.
Hold on 1 second. We got a caller. We get ready to chime.
That was the biggest shot. That was the biggest shot of the other game. Forget about this game. I told you once he was up 1-0, LeBron was gonna do his thing. But I told
You're live and on the air at the Lone Star Sports Show here on the Lone Star Sports Network.
I need to talk to Alan Branch. I need to talk to Snoop Johnson.
Hey.
And I repeat, Snoop Johnson said, I want all y'all listeners to hear this, that LeBron is possibly the ninth best.
Ain't nobody said tonight.
His nickname is all time because he will be the all time in every category in NBA history. Snoop, you a believer yet? Yes or no?
I said he was top 7. I never said 9.
I said he was top 4. You said 7.
Yeah, you said 4. You said 4.
I said 4, and Stu said 7.
Yeah, I said 7.
Hey, Branch, that's that Kimball Shuffle. That's that Kimball Shuffle.
That's the Kimball Shuffle.
Ain't nobody ever said no 9. I said 7.
All 9 never came out.
LeBron,
you know Walker gonna always juice it up.
LeBron ain't been outside of 7 with me since he was in Miami.
No, he went to Miami. He put himself. I think he's like 4 or 5. Yeah.
I'm trying to give y'all show some credibility, and it's okay to be, wrong about some things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no!
Okay, be wrong.
Hey, Coach. I just told the guys that
down at the barbershop.
Is Chris Walker on the text message we got?
Yeah. No, I think you left Chris Walker out.
No, I'm not one of Branch's dudes like that.
Oh, okay.
No, I had nothing.
I put that together.
I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with that.
I think somebody else started another
Walker,
one.
Walker, you're not on the. I got a Brun fan club text message thing right here.
But you know what? No. I started one. I started one.
Tony Stubblefield.
It's called LeBron versus the world.
Oh, I ain't see. LeBron versus the world.
Yeah, it's called LeBron versus the world.
I want to be.
No, not the world. No, I say the people versus LeBron. That's what it is.
People versus LeBron.
Yeah, people versus LeBron.
I got one thing to say.
What's that?
Mufasa, Lion King. That's all I got to say.
Hey, let me tell you this, Walker. One of the greatest moments of LeBron this playoffs was the other night. Even though he went 3 for 15. I was so
that was a shot.
That was a shot. No.
13 for 21.
No.
13 for 21.
This is what I'm saying, though. I'm saying in the fourth quarter and overtime, he went 3 for 15. This is what makes it so special. He was not making shots, but he took the one. He was down by 2. He sent it to overtime. He took the shot. That was the biggest shot right there. That's bigger than all that stuff.
He didn't put him ahead. He retired it.
LeBron.
I'm listening, Coach. Go ahead, Walker.
Hey, Branch, I heard Halle Berry had a pimple on her booty. Goddamn, every second, he don't criticize him about everything, Branch.
That's not criticizing. That's a little. I was sharing a little love right there.
That was a shot. So give us your prediction now. You sitting out there in the Bay Area.
Let's make it interesting then. Let's make it interesting, y'all. Since every now and then the standards go up. If LeBron James could go win another championship. If he could go win another championship, we can have that conversation.
Put him in the top 5.
Yeah, now we're finna go in there and start talking about his team ain't good. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it again. You guys see, you guys don't like. It's amazing when I talk to you guys, Snoop, especially you. You don't like hearing. I get, but you got stuff made up in your head.
No, I'm listening to you.
Michael Jordan played in 6 finals.
Okay.
He had the best team every time. You had the best player with the best supporting class. He was favored every final.
Well, one of the things your team is going to be the best when you got the best player.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
LeBron has played in 8 finals, and he was only favored twice.
How was he only favored twice? And he was
because he played the Spurs one time,
and he was with Miami he was with the Miami Heat for 4 years. How is he not the favorite against San Antonio? And they got the best player in the world on the team. The reason Michael Jordan had the best team is because he was on the team.
It's a team sport.
Coach, I got one.
It's not golf.
When we come back from the break, I got one for.
Let me tell you the other part. The other part.
Okay.
The other thing is,
you got 30 seconds.
Michael Jordan did not have to go against the Golden State Warriors, a championship program, or the San Antonio Spurs. Those did not exist when Mike played.
Mike didn't play.
Coach, the Detroit Pistons were really good then.
What about Detroit?
They were in the same division. He got past them just like LeBron had to get past Boston.
Hey, we're right here at the Lone Star Sports Show. We're going to be back. Chris Walker's going to tell us what these 149 guys that put their name in the draft, where they're going, and what league are they going to be playing in.
It was much more physical back then. Indiana
back
Pacers
in
and New York
180 seconds with more Lone Star Sports Show right here.
LeBron can't get away with
getting
that.
It like it's supposed to be.
All them guys.
Time right back in here. Stay tuned. Check it out. Go ahead, bring it back. Hey, here we are back here at the Lone Star Sports Show. Chris Walker was more entertaining at the commercial break than he was online, doing a great job. But we jumped out on a topic that we were looking at And actually, Chris Walker has the ability, the associate head coach at the University of California at Berkeley, 24 years of Division I coaching experience, coach, and 3 years on CBS Network?
5 years on CBS, 21 years coaching.
21 years coaching. I gave you too much coaching. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Past head.
And you know what? I was AAU coach. I'm going to count my AAU coaching. That's just like coaching college these days.
That's just like coaching LeBron right now.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Maybe LeBron's at least.
LeBron out there straight out there running flat.
Yeah, cause we got 100. we got 149 kids, coach, that still have college eligibility with their names entered into the draft. 54 of those kids have hired agents. Now I need you to explain to me what the other 80-something can still go back to college if they have still scholarship is still good. Where are these kids going to? Am I miscalculating the number of 450? I got it calculated, and Robert Hatter always, and TJ Ford always remind me of what this number is. I think it's 450 actual jobs in the NBA. Is that correct? Roster spots?
15 times 30 teams. 15 slots times 30 teams. They actually added 2 more jobs, so 15 times 40, 450 players. Okay,
so 450 players, and we got almost enough 30%. There's enough to replace 34% of all the guys that are playing in the NBA now. So 34% of the jobs going to come open in the NBA?
Right. Well, no, it's probably, think about it, the first-round contracts are guaranteed. So the first 30 guys will get a guaranteed contract.
But they may not be on the roster. They may be playing in the G League, but they still have a guaranteed contract.
Yeah, they'll get, but it's guaranteed money. So we'll count them. There's 30 guys that are definitely getting paid for sure. Because it's all about making money.
Okay.
It'll be probably another 10 that make it in the second round, which leads to my next point. That means 40 guys that are in the NBA right now won't be there next year.
Right.
So it's always that revolving door. So you're talking about 40 spots, and you said about 54 guys have hired agents. There's another 100 guys out there that haven't hired agents. Now, I will agree with this, and I think it's a good point. I don't know if Snoop will agree. I do agree with them being able to leave, put their name in the draft, get feedback. I think that's helpful. It's just not helpful when a guy averages 2 points a game and puts his name in the draft. And the other thing I don't like about the rule is, which is why I think they should be forced to go, either let them go right away or force them to stay 3 years, because in 3 years it's possible to get a degree or have a little bit left to do. And in 1 year it's not. The reason why I say that, because college basketball is a place of higher learning. You can forget about whether they should get paid or not and all that. But the bottom line is, when those guys leave school, they're not thinking about the ramifications of not making it.
Right.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Coach. I just want to know. It's 2 of us on the radio right here. We got Under the Princess over there, and we got Hatter and all these people, Stacey, them listen. Why would Chris Walker sit there and say Snoop might not agree with me or not?
Because it's a point that you think you might not agree with.
I mean, we ain't had no conversation on no topic like that.
But he feel like he knows you well enough to know kind of how you're thinking, where your whole
that I'm not going to agree. That I'm not going to agree with that.
Particular deal, you might not agree with it.
Hey, Brent, you know if I.
Oh, he's going over the Golden Gate Bridge. We can't hear him good now.
I said he might not agree.
Yeah,
he might say he's gonna agree.
Yeah, but you could have said, Brent, you could have went there and said, Brent, you might not agree with me on this, Brent. You know.
It's okay if you're talking toward me.
Hey, Snoop, I'm trying to do radio 101. You the expert on these branches.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. There you go. Say it again.
They like it. Say
it again. Snoop, you the expert on this thing.
Well, you know how to handle him. That's just the way you handle him. You just don't realize you just been handled.
Shout out to Chris Walker.
Look at him. I mean, stroke you up, boy. Good talker, Walker, boy. You always know. Walker, what you used to tell me all the time.
Change my title down there. Put Snoop put the expert up under my name.
Hey, like you always say, Walker, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, put the expert up under my name. Put Snoop Johnson. Put the expert.
But again, my point is that at the end of the day, kids, we're gonna be caught in a spiral. I know everybody's talking about this G League thing. You got people saying, and usually it's our kids in our community, well, some people just ain't built to go to college. You know what I say? Well, are some people built to have enough money to buy a car? Or some people built to have enough money to buy a house? If you don't have money, You ain't gonna necessarily be blessed to play in the NBA just because you want it.
Right.
It's too many people trying. There's not enough spots for everybody.
Yeah,
and you can't make a living at it. And you know what I mean? Like it's like losing weight. You can't out train your diet. You gotta learn how to eat.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to eat.
No,
you gotta learn how to eat. Same thing with this stuff.
Intake is the biggest thing on managing your body and your life in general. Let me ask you another question.
Stacey just gave him a shout out. Stacey said Chris Walker got away with words.
Who said that?
Stacey
used to him and Hatter them over here. They over there on the YouTube feed over there at the Lonestar Sports Network.
Throw this one at me, man. How would you feel as a college coach of being bound to the fact of here we are, it's May the 3rd, and you're sitting in a situation on May the 3rd where you have to hold a scholarship for a kid that still might come back. And I'm going to tell you about it.
I think it's a terrible situation, but I will say this. There's some legislation that is coming forward. I just had a meeting the other day that is that they're proposing to give kids 14 days. They put their name in the bucket. They get 14 days to see if they can transfer who wants them, and you can't take their scholarship away.
Whoa.
That's on the books right now of people to vote. I mean, of colleges to vote on. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go through.
Yeah, but that just extends the process a little farther and a little farther into the summer, doesn't it? The recruiting process and everything.
What I'm just saying, they get 14 days, and what I'm saying is that's also, and I'm springboarding that into talking about the NBA. Imagine if they're making rules, because that's what's going to happen next. Is that, well, let's give them a chance to go to the NBA, get drafted, don't like where they're drafted, and they can come back to the school
and play basketball, or come back to school and take classes.
No, come back and play basketball.
Oh, that's gonna be nuts.
And listen, you can come back, but the Lakers retain your rights.
That's nuts.
You don't go back into the draft the next year. That makes sense?
They kind of try to do the baseball thing.
Yeah, that sounded very baseball when you threw it out there.
I like the baseball rule where you can come out of high school, but if you don't stay in the draft, if you don't take the spot, you got to come back and go 3 years
in college, right?
College.
Here's my thing, man. As an African American, I'm over here at Cal Berkeley, one of the best schools in the world. At the end of the day, man, education. I was telling one of my players the other day, I said, son, I have a great life. I mean, I have money in the bank. I mean, and the future is bright. And I never played one day of professional basketball.
That's right.
You have to understand there is more people out there like me than there are like freaking Jordan.
Yeah, right.
Way more. Yeah, and guess what? The percentages say you're going to be like me more than you can be like him.
So, I mean, but why not? But that's the beauty of college sports and the beauty of sports in general. You get the opportunity to play both sides of the fence. You get a chance to get the guarantee of the education. Chris Walker hadn't made a jump shot since JFK was the president, and he lives a great life.
Ain't that damn old. Keep going, though.
Richard Nixon or somebody.
I told you, boy, Brent.
I put him back. I'm trying to make a point, Coach. Let's make a point.
I know. Yeah.
JFK was before the year Chris Walker was born.
Yeah.
Barely when I was born. But the point is a long time ago. But the fact that it opened the two jump shots that you did make over at Milby opened a door at Villanova University for you to be a roughly 1,000-point scorer or so and get a quality degree, and has allowed you through the deal. It didn't get you to the NBA, and you probably could have been close to looking at it. You could have been dreaming just as much as you could have been one of these 149, Coach. You know.
Yeah, but the year they changed the draft. The year I came out. I look at a lot of those old-time guys drafted in the 7th round, drafted in the 8th round, whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's back. Tony Biff was one of those guys.
Yeah, but the year I came out, they put the draft to 2 rounds my senior year.
Right.
But anyway, that's a whole other. So I could have been saying I got drafted or whatever. But make a long story short, here's my thing. And we're elevating the conversation about changing the social economic status of our neighborhoods and our kids and the way they think. And I'm not saying the AAU system is bad. I love it. I was a part of it. When I was at the EYBL this weekend and all those other tournaments, all I do is shake my head. I see all the parents and all their involvement, and I say to myself, yeah, I guarantee if we had a Thorn be in here or a PTA meeting, we would all find a parking spot.
Yeah, there wouldn't be towing cars outside, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, we get a pass to these elite universities that we would never be able to get in with our academic prowess. And we get there, and I see it time and time again, and we don't take advantage of it. And then now they're creating more G leagues and leagues. And at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, they can create all the leagues they want. But if your goal is to make $30,000 a year, so you don't have to get up at 8 in the morning like Snoop and go over and open up the gym up and be a teacher and help young men, you keep doing that and see where it gets you.
That's right.
One day you're going to have to stop running around or you get an injury. What are you going to do with your life? If you sit one of those guys down and ask him, son, tell me, if basketball is not a part of your life, what are you going to do? Let me tell you this last story I'll tell you. I sat next to a guy over here in Oakland at the California Pizza Kitchen, and he was telling me a story and I couldn't believe it. We were watching LeBron do his thing, and he says, man, let me tell you something. I never thought in my life I would be a crane operator. So all these high-rises out here in San Francisco, he works on the crane. And he says, it is so easy to get a job working on a crane. I never thought I'd be doing this. I thought I'd be doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm saying to these guys like, dude, everybody can't play basketball, man.
No.
What are you going to do with your life?
Everybody can't play basketball, and nobody's going to play basketball for the rest of their life. That is a fact.
Kobe to stop in this place. Listen, even LeBron going in his 30-something like that.
Yeah. No,
He's going to stop in a couple of years.
The longest your career is going to be, you're still going to have 30 more years of what are you going to do now. And to be intelligent and well-rounded and educated and the opportunity to pursue many of your other opportunities. I mean, just like Jason Witten, we were talking about that. He's a big Walker's a big Cowboy fan. Him leaving now, going right into the booth, he's getting ready to have another great life. He's 30. He's only 36, 37 years old, I believe.
36.
36 years old, and his life is just getting ready to begin. Jason Witten,
Yeah, smart decision.
Hall of Famer.
Coach, I'm looking at this 1986 roster. I wonder when Tony Benford went to training camp, who he was guarding. Was he guarding?
I'll tell you some stories about that. I got the story. I got the war stories about
it. Was he guarding Dennis Johnson or was he guarding Danny Ainge?
Y'all missing the mark. Y'all got Robert Hatt on the line, and he ain't gonna tell y'all about the time he tried up on Rockets with Bill Fitch with them high socks on him.
Yeah. Hey, he'll tell you real fast. He didn't miss a shot all weekend and still got cut. That's the only dude that ever went to camp and was shot 100%. He didn't miss a shot all weekend. He still got cut. Hey,
God.
man, we'll be back in 180 seconds after the break. You got the Lonestar Sports Show right here. All things sports, all things Texas. Giving it to you like it is.
How did it tell
this
us
particular
that?
segment is brought to you by Harlem Hotels. Take a look and listen. We'll be back in 180 seconds with more show.
Love 31. Kevin Love 31 and 11 rebounds. You tell me that's not a superstar.
18-point win for the Brun and his
But
group.
you know what? I got to give it to some of them guys. They said if Kevin Love ever played at his level, there go your boy right there. If Kevin Love ever got off, if LeBron getting off at the same time, it's going to be a blowout. They said that.
Yeah. No, but that was the way it was designed on paper.
Yeah, they said that. They said
It was designed on paper for.
They said if Kevin Love ever had a big game like he's supposed to, and LeBron played, because they say LeBron going to give you his, they say Cleveland going to blow somebody out.
Yeah.
And they did.
Well, there they go. They beat them by 18 points. That's a good big win for them.
Got to agree with the experts.
Got to agree. You up there? We got an expert title on you now, boy. Gave you an expert title.
Yeah.
Well, you got him then, Walker, when you did that. Walker, I want to pose a question for our listeners. We have a lot of parents that go back and listen to this, and they're constantly trying to understand the process and what's going on. What are college coaches doing now after going to 2 live evaluation periods, coming back in, preparing for final exams?
Dead
Period. You can't call any kids. You're waiting for June to start calling the 2020 kids. What's going on right now? What are the choices? What are the decisions? What are the meetings about?
I mean, they're trying to finish a roster, to be honest with you. Right now, I didn't check the list today, but the last time I checked, there were over 500 transfers. 500 transfers. And every day you just watch ESPN.com, all the fifth-year guys are getting snatched up. And guys are just trying to finish their rosters because it's becoming like the NBA where year by year you're being judged and you got to make sure that roster's firm so you can try to make a run. And then the other thing is getting ready for junior recruiting. People got to understand, like right now, only the teams that have their recruiting intact, right, or have a veteran team are focused on youth recruiting. Right now, everyone's trying to win year by year, right? And everybody's trying to firm that roster up the best way you can and trying to see what who you can get. And sometimes you got to be careful with transfers because you don't want to inherit someone else's problems. But at the end of the day, sometimes getting a transfer kid is better than taking a freshman. So everybody's making those type of decisions. Guys are moving around, work-wise. So this is that time of year where there's a lot of moving and shaking on the player front and the coach front.
Yep. You're talking to Chris Walker, the associate head coach at the University of Cal Berkeley Pac-12. Had a lot of success. I guess the rules do allow me to talk about the guys he has recruited. Scotty Reynolds and the Fisher Fish kid that was from New York, and who played with Scotty over there, the other guard that was really good.
Well, I recruited Javon Pinkston, who was at McDonald's. Scotty was there when I got there. You know who actually recruited dude who just did the best job on Scotty?
Who's that?
Kelvin Sampson. Scotty Reynolds was going to Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, I do know that. Right.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then when that little unfortunate thing happened, I think Coach left and went to Indiana, I want to say.
Right, that's what happened, yeah.
I remember that.
He left and went to Indiana, and he fell in Villanova's lap. How about that? Talk about recruiting. That's what people don't understand about recruiting. Sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. Because Villanova he was going to Oklahoma, and he ended up, because he didn't want to go to Indiana, fell in Villanova's lap, and he ended up being an all-time lead scorer in Villanova history. How crazy is that?
Who was the other guard that played there with Scotty? I know it was
Corey Fisher from the Bronx.
Corey, was it Corey?
And they had
another
guy, Malik Wayans was another McDonald's All-American that was there, and Corey Stokes was another McDonald's All-American. Here's a funny thing. I know Villanova is tearing it up, and I love my alma mater. We had 6 McDonald's All-Americans at one time when I was coaching there.
Wow.
And I'm telling you right now, that was a lot to me. Here's the thing by contrast. Snoop will probably laugh at this. When I was there, we had 6 McDonald's All-Americans. We were still number 2 seed. When they won the championship this year, they had 1 McDonald's All-American. 2 out of the last 3 years, they won the championship. They had 1 McDonald's All-American.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
They had one McDonald's All-American and about 8 grown men.
Well, you know what? They do a great job of developing their players.
Right.
And McKinney Bridges, who's the thought of as a lottery pick, redshirted.
Yeah, you said something right. You said something right there, Chris Walker. Develop their players.
Yeah. And then DiVincenzo redshirted.
He did.
The kid that made all the time, he redshirted.
Yeah.
The kid Pascal, who makes all the threes, he was a transfer from Fordham, so he redshirted a year. The kid Spillman, the big kid that was making all the threes in the Final Four game against Kansas, he didn't play his first year. He redshirted.
The redshirt let you get a little older, coach.
All 4 of those guys redshirted. How crazy is that?
What do you think the climate is right now, developing your players and getting older versus young talent? Is it the right mixture? What do you think? Out of 351 Division I programs out there, where do you think it weighs out, or where do you think? How do you think that breaks down, or where philosophies are right now?
I mean, all I can say is if I was advising any coach, and even ourselves as we're trying to remake what Cal could be, get guys that can play for you. So like Snoop used to press and stuff. So if so guys that aren't fast and athletic probably couldn't play for Snoop. But if he went and got a bunch of guys like that, he couldn't be the best coach he could be. So what I'm saying is you can say older guys, younger guys, whatever that mixture is, make sure they fit your style and your personality as a coach. Because you'll never reach your potential as a coach if you don't have the guys. Because if you got a choice, high school is different because guys are, they're in the neighborhood and you can't do transfers and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, in college, you get to choose your players. So choose guys that fit your style.
Right.
And not directly, because I know I don't want to get any kind of violation, but not necessarily just talking about Cal, but in theory, when a coach, elaborate just a little bit more. Obviously, Chris, Snoop Johnson, I know it, and Honey, we know exactly what you're talking about, but we want our listeners to understand when you're looking at players and I mean, what does that look like for University A that plays a style of A? You got a 20-year veteran head coach that's had 4 different jobs as a Division I coach, and he's consistently been known as this. Elaborate just a little bit on what that looks like or sounds like.
You mean a guy coaching a younger team versus a guy coaching an experienced team?
Or what it is that he's looking for when he goes out to find a team.
I mean, again, it depends on, that guy's experiences. Like, think about it. If I work for a guy that, at Syracuse that played zone all the time, right? That's probably going to be like Mike Hopkins is a pupil of Jim Boeheim. Guess what Mike Hopkins does 99% of the time? He plays zone.
Right.
Right? So some guys, if the Princeton style, remember when Pete Carrill was doing the Princeton.
Well, John III leaked out of Princeton and brought that to Georgetown, right?
Exactly. And I remember this, and I don't want to belabor Villanova too much. I remember Jay Wright when he first started at Hofstra. He had been at Villanova. He was my coach at Villanova, and he went to Vegas with Rolly Massimino. And when he got his first job at Hofstra, he was trying to play just like Villanova played. And he wasn't successful. And he realized, that's not me. That's not my personality is shoot 'em up and sleep in the streets. It's great to know every play and having a big scouting report and do all that elaborate stuff, but that's not my style. That's not what I want to coach. So he flipped the game, and now you see where he is today. So my biggest thing is when it comes to a game of styles, I can watch, when I did television, I can watch a game and be like, okay, I watch a scouting report on these guys, scouting report on these guys. Whose will is going to win? I look at, and you might disagree, I always look at who makes the most threes. See, the game has changed today. The center is being null and void. You watch the Rockets play Utah Jazz. When does Rudy Gobert score? When do they ever throw him the ball? He's a finisher. They're not throwing him the ball in the post.
Right. Catch and finish, right.
Maybe Joel Embiid, they may throw it to him, but when are the Cavaliers ever posting anybody up? If the Toronto Raptors throw the ball to Valanciunas, we thinking it's a turnover, and he may make a basket, Snoop, but how many is he going to make?
Snoop Johnson wouldn't have the state championships he has right now if it wasn't for the three-point shot.
Coach, I tell people all the time, if you got some guards, I'm the one to coach them.
Yeah.
If you got some bigs, I'm just telling you, this might not be the place for you because we got a role for you. I mean, I just don't know no bigs. I don't know no bigs I ever coached that we just threw it in there too.
That was the thing against us at Villanova when I was recruiting a long time. They said if you got bigs, don't send them to Nova.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, even the guys like that play at Nova, the bigs, Ochufu, Dante, all those guys make the NBA because the game is more than just about shooting.
Right. Our bigs turn into pick and pop guys.
Or finishers, or rebounders, or every position, or be tough guys and be athletic. And if you ask any kid, is that, hey, man, if you ask any of the AAU kids or any high school kids, you play 30 minutes in a game, right? Okay, how many minutes you think you touching the ball? They're going to say about 15. I said 15 minutes.
No.
So, man,
you may touch it
ball a minute.
Yeah, I would say 2
you
minutes.
may touch it a minute.
That's right.
Well, you get to talking to Chris Walker. Chris Walker get you fired up, make you want to get back into coaching, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You know,
just that little short term, Chris got me. You got me wanting to get back into getting into coaching. I need to get me. I need to try to find me a job.
Oh,
I was fine until I started talking to Chris Walker. Now he got me fired up.
When Chris Walker was doing television, we used to talk a lot of basketball. We used to go over and watch T. Harvey and watch the practices and stuff. And you can really see the X and O stuff come out of Chris Walker. A lot of people just know Chris Walker's just, the guy with the silver tongue and just really knows how to go out and figure out how to put deals together and make things work. But he does have a basketball IQ, contrary to
Brent,
what.
you need to go out and find me a job, man.
Find your job.
Yeah. Walker got me pumped up over here.
Hey, Snoop, as soon as I get my spot, because I am going to be a head coach again, you got a spot with me. Don't worry about that.
I remember the staff.
Oh, we have staff meetings every morning. Bobby stand down there in downtown.
Hey, look here. I remember the staff that when you was out there, and you was the head coach at Texas Tech, and we was looking for the permanent spot. I remember the staff that
had it broken down.
That Brent and you was talking about taking the Texas Tech and looking full circle almost.
Yep.
Oh man, it's looking full circle. Hey,
as we go this showdown, in the famous words of the great Chris Walker. Let me be the great Chris Walker. The great Chris Walker.
Boy, I tell you, boy, hey, you see Brett? Hey, he trying to play it off on the side though. But I'm hey, Chris, he tried to play it off on the side though. But boy, he look up to us for Chris Walker and Jimmy Hicks, boy. Alan Brett, two people now. Two people got the gospel with Brett now. Jimmy Hicks over here on certain subjects over here, and Chris Walker on certain things over here.
That's where we start. But in the famous words of the great Chris Walker, life is a lot of days.
Life is a lot of days.
Life is a lot of days.
Chris, I bet you.
I appreciate it, man. Man.
Oh, man, appreciate you coming on, man. Get us on out of the process. We'll be back. Y'all have a good weekend. Peace, love, safe.
I got one word to go. I got one word for you on my way out.
Okay. All right, well, we'll catch you on the bounce back.
Yeah.